dozen other local lines, as well as ocean hoppers, freight tubes, and spaceships operating between Earth and Circumterra Station, and thence to Luna, Venus, Mars, and the Jovian moons. It was the spinal cord of a more than worldwide empire. Tuned as he was to the wide and empty New Mexico desert, and before that to the wider wastes of space, Don felt oppressed and irritated by the noisy, swarming mass. He felt the loss of dignity that comes from men behaving like ants, even though his feeling was not thought out in words. Still, it had to be faced. He spotted the triple globes of interplanet lines and followed glowing arrows to its reservation office. An uninterested clerk assured him that the office had no record of his reservation in the Valkyrie. Patiently, Don explained that the reservation had been made from Mars and displayed the radiogram from his parents. Annoyed into activity, the clerk finally consented to phone Circumterra. The satellite station confirmed the reservation. The clerk signed off and turned back to Don. "Okay, you can pay for it here." Don had a sinking feeling. "I thought it was already paid for." He had on him his father's letter of credit, but it was not enough to cover passage to Mars. "Huh? They didn't say anything about it being prepaid." At Don's insistence, the clerk again phoned the space station. Yes, the passage was prepaid since it had been placed from the other end. Didn't the clerk know his tariff book? Thwarted on all sides, the clerk grudgingly issued Don a ticket to Couch 64, rocket ship, Glory Road, lifting from Earth for Circumterra at 9:03:57 the following morning. "Got your security clearance?" "Huh? What's that?" The clerk appeared to gloat at what was a legitimate opportunity to decline to do business after all. He withdrew the ticket. "Don't you bother to follow the news. Give me your ID." Reluctantly, Don passed over his identity card. The clerk stuck it in a stat machine and handed it back. "Now your thumbprints." Don impressed them and said, "Is that all? Can I have my ticket?" "Is that all?" he says. "Be here about an hour early tomorrow morning. You can pick up your ticket then, provided the IBI says you can." The clerk turned away. Don, feeling forlorn, did likewise. He did not know quite what to do next. He had told Headmaster Reeves that he would stay overnight at the Hilton Caravansary, that being the hotel his family had stopped at years earlier, and the only one he knew by name. On the other hand, he had to attempt to locate Dr. Jefferson, Uncle Dudley, since his mother had made such a point of it. It was still early afternoon. He decided to check his bags and start looking. Bags disposed of, he found an empty communication booth and looked up the doctor's code, punched it into the machine. The doctor's phone regretted politely that Dr. Jefferson was not at home and requested him to leave a message. He was dictating it when a warm voice interrupted. "I'm at home to you, Donald. Where are you, lad?" The view screen cut in and he found himself looking at the somewhat familiar features of Dr. Dudley Jefferson. "Oh, I'm at the station, Dr. Gary Station. I just got in." "Then grab a cab and come here at once." I don't want to put you to any trouble, Doctor. I called because Mother said to say goodbye to you." Privately, he had hoped that Dr. Jefferson would be too busy to waste time on him. Much as he disapproved of cities, he did not want to spend his last night on Earth exchanging politeness with a family friend. He wanted to stir around and find out just what the modern Babylon did have to offer in the way of diversion. His letter of credit was burning a hole in his pocket. He wanted to bleed it a bit. "No trouble. See you in a few minutes. Meanwhile, I'll pick out a fatted calf and butcher it. By the way, did you receive a package from me?" The doctor looked suddenly intent. "A package? No?" Dr. Jefferson muttered something about the mail service. Don said, "Maybe it'll catch up with me. Was it important?" Never mind. We'll speak of it later. You left a forwarding address?" "Yes, sir, the Caravansary." "Well, whip up the horses and see how quickly you can get here. Open sky." "Safe grounding, sir." They both switched off. Don left the booth and looked around for a cab stand. The station seemed more jammed than ever, with uniforms much in evidence.